As our moderator mentioned, my name is Michael Sudarkasa, and I will be moderating this next session. I'd like to, in the interest of time, say all protocols observed, particularly to our excellencies. We have had, particularly from the message of the commissioner and our co-chairs in IDB, been given a sense of the dynamism of the private sector in Africa and the opportunity for investors to catch hold of a rising continent. What we're going to do in the next hour or so is actually start helping you get to know more about institutions that are driving growth on the continent. And so our panelists this morning are all representing institutions that are doing dynamic catalytic work here in Mozambique and around the continent.
Okay. So the first one is related to the Africa Economic Outlook 2014, published by UNEC, IDB, OECD, and UNDP. So this is the first message. External financial flows have quadrupled since 2000 and are projected to reach over 200 billion euros in 2014.
Good morning again. We are about to commence our second panel for the day, and keeping in the theme of providing everyone here with very important financial resources, we have a panel of colleagues who work within the IDB Group, and each will provide you with a sense of the resource that they provide. When and if Mr. Mustafa Sow joins us, he has joined us. So we'll have these four presentations, and I'll ask the colleagues to please try and keep your remarks to about 5 to 6 minutes, because we'd like to have this be an interactive dialogue, and we'd like to be able to allow our colleagues who are delegates to ask questions. So without further ado, Mr. Jamal, I'd like to invite you to the podium. Thank you.
This one is up and down. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala Sayyidina Muhammad Ashraf al-Anbiya al-Mursaleen. Good morning, Excellencies, sisters and brothers. It gives me great pleasure to make this brief presentation about the IDB. Although I know that the session is really dealing with the private sector and I present the public sector, but I think maybe I have something, maybe a little to add, just to complement the IDB Group offering.
We'll have our last session before lunch focused on investment opportunities in Mozambique. Mr. Nuno Mapos, if you could please come to the dais. It's the Coordinator of Information and Marketing for CPI, which is the investment promotion agency here. Mr. Gervasio Lifanisa, if you could please also join him, the Director of Corporate Strategy and Portfolio Management, ENH. And then Mr. Helio Neves, Head of Information and Analysis Department, CEPAGRI.
We are very honored to be here presenting ENH to this panel, and we will just go. We will share with this panel, or this distinguished panel, what we have learned with the investment that we have made here in Mozambique, and what we expect to do as lessons learned with the Rovuma project.
A estrutura da minha apresentação é esta. É dizer que Moçambique, de facto, tem uma localização privilegiada em termos de acesso aos principais mercados. Estamos a falar do mercado europeu, do Médio Oriente, a Ásia, e bem como a nível também da região da SADC. Estas facilidades permitem que o país, de facto, explore, através das suas condições agroclimáticas, o seu potencial para a produção da agricultura.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you so much for inviting me to the podium. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for coming to this gathering, which is organized within the auspices of the 40th Annual Meeting of IDB and the Joint Forum of the Private Sector Development by ICD and AUC. My name is Majid Kermani, and I'm the Director of Strategy and Policy at ICD, the Islamic Corporation for the Development of the Private Sector. We're very proud for having such a unique session today. I mean, our session title is Creating More and Better Jobs in Mozambique under Let's Work Partnership. Before I give the floor to our distinguished guests from the World Bank Group, and specifically IFC, let me brief you, just take a couple of minutes to brief you on the initiative itself. It's a joint global initiative among IFIs. I'll brief you and introduce you the initiative itself, and I'm sure that Ms. Namita will talk and go into the details of talking about different activities within the initiative.
My name is, as Dr. Kirmani said, my name is Namita Datta, and I'm based in the Washington, D.C. office of the World Bank Group. I'm also the head of this new partnership that has recently been launched. It's called Let's Work. The objective of Let's Work, as Dr. Kirmani said, is to work with countries in order to focus on job creation, better and more and better jobs, but explicitly through the private sector, because the belief is that actually job creation comes from the private sector.
Dear participants, it's a great pleasure for me to be in this session, which will enable us to learn more about the winners of IDB Group Business Plan competition. This competition was held last year, and it was actually only one of the initiatives of the ICD to foster entrepreneurship in our member countries. In this first edition, the competition achieved a great success and reached a lot of entrepreneurs in Sub-Saharan Africa region. And we tried to help them in their journey to develop and implement their business plans.
Thank you, Osman. Before I get started, I would like to pay special tribute to IDB for this wonderful initiative. I must mention that out of this initiative, we, through our company, have also qualified this year for the Tony Elumelu Enterprise Program, through which we'll be trained and facilitated for the rest of 2015. On the back of that as well, I would like to acknowledge the fact that we did receive our prize money. Thank you for that. We were bronze winners in the growth category, received $10,000, and out of that, we've been able to expand our business. This last month, we completed a $25,000 project. We utilized the $10,000 to complete our feed mill. Below, you would see the transmission line, which we're able to procure at a cost of $25,000 to build a feed mill of capacity to facilitate our farm enterprise.
Good afternoon to everybody. Assalamu alaikum. And thank you, as Mr. Andrew has already pointed out. All of us are sincerely appreciative to the whole IDB group for the wonderful welcoming and hospitality and hosting and just the coordination of a project of this magnitude. It's really a great inspiration to us as young Africans, and I think for young people around the world, to stimulate initiative, creativity, and agency. I'm here especially on behalf of my younger brother, who is actually the great mastermind and brain power behind this operation. I need to give him a shout out, as we would say in the United States, because unfortunately he can't make it. He's a passionate medical doctor in his orthopedic residency at George Washington University Medical Hospital in Washington, D.C. Both he and I are based in Washington, D.C. and Abuja, Nigeria.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ademola Shibero is my name. I'm from Nigeria. Let me also join my colleagues to commend the IDB Group for the wonderful opportunity we were given. For me, I was actually conceiving this idea just when I saw the IDB competition. So the whole of the process actually helped me to crystallize and then articulate my ideas up to the point of the business plan itself. Slide. Okay. Okay, I actually learned about the IDB business plan from an entrepreneurship group, and then the value it added were quite much. It's like I told you, I had the idea just about the same time I saw this thing, so it actually helped in drilling my research. The mentoring too was serious because we had mentors even before the final competition itself. There were mentors while you were trying to crystallize the ideas.
Hello, everyone. My name is Olufumbi Falai, and let me just dive straight into business in the interest of time. First of all, let me appreciate IDB for the opportunity. I think Passion Incubator is one of the entities that have been really impacted, because when I go back to Nigeria in 2013 to start Passion Incubator, we were looking for a proof of concept. We wanted people to believe in us, and it was very difficult. So one of the things we did was try to get a lot of people involved. And then, interestingly for us, ISDB came up, we applied, and to cut the long story short, we were selected. I'll skip this slide. Passion Incubator is an early-stage technology incubator that targets very early-stage technology-focused entrepreneurs in moving their businesses from idea stage into market fit.
I'm very grateful to be participate to the IDB Group business plan competition. My project is named Teco Carré, which means in French, toiture écologique et économique, in English, economical and ecological roofs. The IDB Group is a great opportunity for young Africans who wish to create enterprise. And as for me, it was a great opportunity and a great pleasure to take part to the edition. And what I learned, I really learned how to build a good business plan, how to submit a brief summary of it, and how to present my project in front of a jury. And for me, I think this viewed all this opportunity and all the steps that we be through to be a laureate of this beautiful competition is a great. Our wish is that the IDB Group shall repeat the competition in the next year, and also to consider us the new laureate as the ambassador of this good initiative.